Flu cases in the Bay Area. Go to abcactionnews.com/flu. You'll also find a map that shows how many countries have cases, and you can tell us if you're even worried about this swine flu in our online poll.
A former police sergeant from the suburbs of Chicago has been arrested and charged with killing his third wife. Drew Peterson joked with reporters as he headed to court today. His third wife, Kathleen Savio's body bathtub in 2004. His publicist, who lives in Tampa, says the former officer maintains his innocence.
Everybody is innocent until proven guilty. I realize how things look. Drew realizes how things look. But just because you're quirky doesn't mean that you're guilty.
Peterson is still being investigated in the disappearance of his fourth wife. Today's arraignment was delayed until May 18th because his attorneys could not attend the hearing.
Social networking sites are more, but now authorities say some sites that allow friends to stay in touch are also being used for illegal ends. Action News reporter Chris Martinez explains.
Linda Carnahan began checking out her son's internet activity after his behavior became increasingly erratic.
I'm thinking, you know, something's not right here, but I want to trust you. And as it got progressively worse, it was like I had to cross that line.
Logging on to her son's MySpace account, Carnahan found links to pages full of phrases like Macintosh thizzles and purple pokeballs.
I Googled it, and it came up efficacy.
Carnahan tipped off police, who began an undercover operation using the MySpace page to find and arrest 10 drug dealers who cops say were all selling drugs to hundreds of kids. The deal went down face-to-face, but the contacts were all made online. And police say more and more criminals are turning to the web.
You can say you're anyone on the internet, and just because it says that you're talking with a 12-year-old boy doesn't mean it's a 12-year-old boy.
With so many teens using various websites, it can be extremely tough for authorities to keep up.
With millions and millions of pages out there, it's like finding a needle in a haystack.
And that's why the best defense can be a parent, police say. They're warning all parents to keep a close watch not only on what your child is doing in the real world, but in the virtual one as well. Chris Martinez, ABC Action News.
3 suspected criminals are off St. Petersburg streets because of the police department's new gun bounty program. After getting a tip yesterday, police arrested Dorian Jackson, Conrad Jenkins, and Dwight Roberts. They recovered cocaine, marijuana, a handgun, and ammunition. The gun bounty program was formed to get guns off the streets after the shooting death of 8-year-old Paris Whitehead Hamilton.
The former spokesman at the State Child Welfare Agency learned today he will spend more than 24 years in prison. Al Zimmerman received the sentence for taking nude photos of teenage boys, including a 16-year-old under the care of DCF at the time. Other charges in the case were dropped as part of a plea agreement. Zimmerman apologized to the victims and his family.
A $66.5 billion state budget is headed to Governor Charlie Crist's desk for approval. This budget includes a tuition increase for college students, as well as motor vehicle, court, and other fee hikes. That's in addition to $5.3 billion in federal stimulus money, a $1 a pack cigarette tax increase, and spending reductions. Governor Charlie Crist does have the power to veto individual items within this bill. The rate of job loss in the U.S. is starting to slow down, and that's good news. New numbers out today show the pace of layoffs slowed in April, with employers cutting 539,000 jobs. That's a lot of jobs lost, but it's the fewest in 6 months. But the unemployment overall rate did climb to 8.9%.
I'm consumer reporter Carrie Cavanaugh here in Gainesville, where the owner of this home is actually getting a check from the power company. What she's selling and why the company is eager to pay top dollar for it. Coming up.
Plus, when you hear what this man found on his plate at a TGI Fridays, you'll be thinking, thank goodness it didn't happen to me.
Good evening, everyone. Well, we're looking at the winds coming down a little bit in the Wesley Chapel area. Should help for those firefighters with the brush fire going on, but there's still a ton of rough weather across much of the country. A severe weather outbreak with damage unbelievable across the Midwest, and it's headed east. All that and your Mother's Day forecast with AccuWeather coming up.
This is your Movies on Demand screen.
Oh, cool. So what are you going to do next? Who are you? Who is he?
It's